Alright, it's time for another week of ZTGD Radio. This is episode 784 for February 19th, 2024. On the show this week, we got Cosmic Shake Anthony.
Yep.
We got coming on the ship Terrence.
What up?
We got Democracy Spreading Wombat. Well, you're trying to spread democracy, but you can't enlist right now.
I am successfully spreading democracy as we speak.
Man, I just tried to spread democracy. You know what it told me? It said servers was at capacity. They don't want me to spread democracy.
Okay, you gotta stop using spread democracy before it just becomes the next.
Yeah, we probably should. We probably should.
Yeah, be careful there.
But,
like, I'm not even interested in turning that into a sound clip. It's more like, do you want democracy to mean something different on the internet? Because this is how we end up with fucking literally being figuratively.
This is No, you're right.
They already took the eggplant emoji. All right, we lost that one. We lost that one before there was even a fight.
We lost that early.
Fair.
To be fair, how often were you using the eggplant emoji before to describe actual eggplant?
You don't know how much I eat an aubergine.
Never.
Shut up.
Never. Fucking fake ass Papagenos. That's Italian up in Canada.
That's because it's all those emojis were like basically built out of Japan, I'm pretty sure. So like there's weird cultural things that we just don't have.
Also, if it's purple, you need to go to a doctor. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. That you got problems.
Yes, definitely true.
Get that checked out.
Oh shit. Okay, well, video games, those are a thing.
Yep.
We're trying to play them. Some of them.
Man.
It's not working. I noticed the servers weren't packed for Skull and Bones, Terrence. You want to kick us off?
Yeah.
Listen, they don't have those server problems.
Yeah, Terrence tried to slip that one in earlier.
Yeah,
I did.
Skull and Bones didn't have no problems. You know what's funny is Skull and Bones didn't have no problems, and it had a fucking free trial this weekend. Crazy.
Yes, I was going to talk about that too. Yeah, because I think it's an 8-hour. I don't think it is just for the weekend. I think it might be like just what the game has, like because it's an 8-hour trial that you get apparently. So it might just be what it has going forward.
It only took me 5 minutes. It only took me 5 minutes.
I believe it.
Like I literally was doing the tutorial and it was like press the A button to raise the sails and it didn't work and my boat just floated in the ocean. I was like, that's about time to delete this.
Listen, okay, look.
Now, I'm going to ask a question, just so, because we're really piling on fucking Skull and Bones here, and I'm just curious, has there been a Ubisoft game that has had server issues? That wasn't Assassin's Creed Unity, which was just kind of a mess altogether?
Yes, The Division.
Does it? Okay. Well, then fuck them.
Yeah, the Division had the dumbest idea to where when you first log in, you have to go to like this desk and register. It's cool in like
I remember hearing this where everybody had to queue.
Yeah, and we just were all standing there in line waiting to get into the game. It was the dumbest shit ever.
Yep. I forgot about that.
Yep, that sucked. Because that game was good. So,
listen, okay, because I'm gonna write a review on Sea of Thieves, and I've already talked about it a lot. I think I talked about it last week. I'm a lot further in now, so past the open beta.
I love that
the game is out.
Why?
Oh wow!
So many dick references. Good lord!
I'm so sorry.
Can we think
Skull
about
and Bones.
Oh, you're further in, are you, Terrence?
Yeah. For God's sake! Okay, listen.
That's all right. Ryan had one earlier too about like you were trying to get it in.
I mean, where are we even at right now?
What is that? What is happening? What is with this stupid
We are
game?
apparently a Miss Spitzlitz history class in 1995.
And by the way, I said slip that in, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That's so much better.
He's more elegant about it. You have to give him that.
That's right.
Oh, man. Okay, it's okay. But the bottom line, I didn't mean Sea of Thieves. Lord Jesus. Skull and Bones is,
That's all right. It's what everybody would prefer to play.
Which, you know what? I actually, because I was thinking about this as I played last night, because I was unable to to play Helldivers, but I think I prefer Skull and Bones just because of the combat. Like it's admittedly more maybe I guess arcade combat compared to Sea of Thieves where you have to actually pick up the cannonball, put the cannonball in the cannon, aim
Put
the
the
cannon,
cannonball in the
all that stuff.
cannon and you blow it all up.
Yeah, exactly. This game is not like that, but I don't know. I like the combat. The moment to moment ship combat in this game is incredibly fun. I had multiple fights with multiple ships. I had some over like during a storm, which was fucking incredible. Like with the waves going crazy and fucking lightning, like it looked insane. But because this is a live service game, I don't think that this game, and I think I've said this before, I don't think that the activities that this game has, and I haven't reached the end game yet, so let me be clear. So I don't know what those activities are going to entail, but I kind of have a feeling where they're going, and I don't think that it's going to be something that anybody is going to really want to be grinding. For real, because that's what you're going to have to do in this game. You start to get the in-game currency now, which is called like pieces of 8 or something like that. And everything that takes this currency is so expensive. Like there's no way that that people are going to be able to afford this stuff unless they are spending like all of their time in this live service game. Like, and because live service games are a dime a dozen anymore, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is going to end well. But as I've said before, I'll ride the wave and have a good time. The ship combat is fun. I will have to amend my statement that you do not come off the ship to get wood anymore. You get that wood on the ship. You just kind of pull up to the shore. You do.
As God intended.
You come on the poop deck. That's what happens.
You come on the poop deck, though. You do come. The only time you come off the ship is when Jesus Christ is when you go to talk to the people in the different towns and stuff. So when you're interacting with the NPCs, you'll see if there's other people on the island, you'll see the other people's pirates all out there. And that's the other thing that this game doesn't have, which is crazy because they're expecting it to, I guess, live on just the merits of it being a live service game. But the story sucks. Like if there's even really much more, like it's so like you get stranded. You're working for this pirate and now you're starting from the bottom and you're trying to become a pirate kingpin. Well, you end up working for this little skeezy pirate who sends you out on missions, which is all, blow up this person, find this thing, all this stuff, whatever. You're kind of free to do stuff in the meantime. Huh?
I'm really glad you added up in that sentence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah. Anyways, so,
this is the most sexual game in history.
Even more so than
playing pirate, coming on decks, like fucking. What the fuck is this game?
It's a quest for booty. What are you talking about?
It is. You do have to get a lot of booty in the game. Which is one of the nice things is that all the stuff that you can buy costs. You can do it with in-game currency, which Ubisoft is not necessarily egregious when it comes to those microtransaction stuff. So there's no like pay to win here. All the stuff you can pay for, it just gives you like emissive sales or something like that, like shit'll glow or some bullshit. But like anything, colors, different designs, all that stuff, you can pay the little silver that you get from just doing pirate shit. Which is where this game is fun.
Why did this game take 10 fucking years? I need that question.
Oh, brother.
Answered.
No, this game took only.
We're gonna have to call Jason Shearer to. Well,
you all know that this game like took a year and a half to make.
Yeah.
Like whatever this is not 10 years of building a game.
It's quadruple A, guys.
Yeah.
Man.
1A for every 2 years of development.
Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, great. What stupid shit is he gonna say this time? And it's always some stupid shit. Always. Quadruple
I don't know why
A.
he even opened his mouth to say any of that, because this is most
He's
definitely
right. In
not.
French, A is ah. So it's just ah. So he's right. It is quadruple A. You have to remember, Ubisoft is French, so you know we have to do the translation.
What the fuck?
We got to use that Google translation. Yeah, it's there is no story. So that was the first pirate. Then I'm working for another pirate who is this Indian lady captain who is like against the government, and she, you know, is all it really is all like the story beats is just kind of the tutorial or the path to get you to up, you know, building new ships, building new weapons, you know, kitting out your armor and shit, and just going for the end game where you're just going to, you know, cycle through these different events and stuff. Which, and speaking of the events, like I said last week, I think they pop up randomly around the world, and you have to sail to these areas to actually start them. Well, I don't know if they're bugged or what, because the couple that I've like managed to get to, like you end up getting there and you're like in this queue, and like everybody is sailing around in circles waiting for something to start, and there's like always like one spot that's like empty, and like it just, I don't know, it just disappears, and then we all just end up going our own way. So
maybe they didn't actually expect people to play the game that long.
I guess so. Like I don't know, man. It's not quadruple A, but I mean I'm ready to review. Like I said, the ship combat and stuff is fun. Like the piratey shit is fun, and it's more fun to me than Sea of Thieves. But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just take what Black Flag was, take out all the assassin stuff, put in all pirate stuff, and say, here's Skull and Bones.
That's what they did.
I don't know why you would just do that.
That's what they did. It just took them 10 years to put the price tag sticker on it.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but even like the on land stuff, like if you took out all the Assassins versus Templar stuff and just made it, you're a pirate running missions across these islands, you know, or whatever the fuck, like sword fights when you oh my god, let me talk about this just real quick, then I'm gonna be done. So like, you know, in that game when you're boarding other ships in Black Flag, like that was some intense shit. Like you gotta jump over to the boat, you gotta kill some people in order to make them surrender and everything. Yeah, well in this you can board ships too, so you get their health down to a certain point and you sail up next to them and a little prompt will come up, you press Y to board the ship, and it'll
you press
get you...
Y and go, why did I download this?
So you press the button, and they throw out the ropes to grab a hold.
Uninstall. It's just quick. It's just quick mapped to the controller the entire time.
But look, it's just a cinematic, man. Like you hit you hit Y. They throw ropes. If it works the first time, because it doesn't always connect, because I guess there's some RNGs here. But like once it connects, like it literally just spams or switches to the scene where you see your crew like pull the boat like and slam it next to yours, and then it just tallies up. Well, this is the loot. Take separate. No, you want to take it all? Okay, cool. You got it all, and then it goes back out, and the boat blows up and goes in the water. That's it. That's boarding the ship. That's the thrilling. Why did they had a perfectly good pirate game?
You even have like a stealth system on land, right? So like, which a pirate would be because they're thieves essentially. Yeah. And so like, and you know what? Pirates also have a bunch of myths, so they can have like, you know, you can still have your weird, alternate
there
history
are
sort of stuff.
Pirates. Apparently, I haven't run into them, but they're apparently ghosts.
Yeah, that's minimal shit. I mean, Zelda Wind Waker had more piratey actions going on.
Yeah.
You know, dredging up loot from the bottom of the ocean and exploring islands. And
do you at least get sea shanties? Do you at least get to sing?
Yeah, sea shanties.
Yes, but They suck. And there's only like 2. Like even in Yup, exactly. Like
Fuck this
they're
game.
repetitive. Like yeah, like and there's no like the only time that it plays music is when you're in a fight for real. Like so when there's like a battle music that starts and you're like oh shit, and it's I mean it's kind of dope. But outside of that, it's just hearing the waves slap your hull of your ship, and then they just sing the same 2 songs, and I'm like the fuck man, like y'all had a. There was a whole plethora of different shanties that people would sing for you in Black Flag. Like, this is such a fucking
Not only that,
downgrade.
they even had shanties in
Odyssey.
and
yeah.
in Valhalla too.
Yep. Oh my God, that's right. Yeah. So what the hell? So they
Yeah.
just was like, you know what, Skull and Bones gets the minimum. We ain't fucking with this for real. We just really try. They don't care about this game for real. I think this was really just they had to fill a quota, and they had to.
They had to put it out because they had
Yep.
spent so much money on it, and they don't really care about it.
No, man, yes. Ugh. Anyways, so the game I want to talk about, which I finished my review for last night, is Helldivers 2 because that game is fucking incredible. I mean, I think we talked about it last week.
Good.
But it's so good, but it's so painful because it won't let me play. Like it's still plagued with server problems after they capped it at was it
450,000. Yeah, 450,000 is what it's capped at now, and you still can't get you. Well, I should say it's inconsistent whether or not you can get into a game at this point because it's there's just so many people trying to play, especially this weekend because they've got this double XP thing going on.
Exactly.
To make up for the last round of server problems. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Next week you get quadruple XP.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm expecting. I'm like, man.
It sucks, man, because the game is so fucking good. Like when you get in and you can play, even solo, like I'm having fun with it solo. It's obviously best if you're playing with 4 people that you know. But even solo, the game is a lot of fun. And the thing that really frustrates me about all the server problems is that this finally feels like a live service game that got the battle pass stuff right. Like the battle pass it never goes away, so you don't have to worry about it expiring. Like any battle pass that you unlock sticks around forever. No matter how long it takes you to unlock all the stuff in it. And they are, through the gameplay, super generous at giving you the currency that you need to unlock stuff in the battle pass. So for example, you use medals to unlock stuff in the battle pass. And generally, I'd say on medium difficulty, your objectives, like if you finish your objectives, you're going to unlock like 4 or 5 medals. But you can also find them just laying around. So like I did a mission this morning and found 4 medals just laying around, which is, as much as I got out of finishing the objectives. Even the paid for currency you can find laying around.
Yep. The super credits.
Yeah. So it sucks because it's like there's so many good things going for this game. There's a ton of people trying to play it. The battle pass is completely fair. It's not pay to win. It's a blast to play. They've built something really cool with the like persistent online war. And they're victims of their own success right now because they can't keep the servers high enough to respond to all the demand.
Yep.
It's crazy. And I mean, there's a point where I sympathize with the developers because the first Helldivers only had 9,000 players at max. But at the same time, like we're on week 2 now, so you gotta get it figured out. Like you can't keep messing around with this with a game that people paid money for. You know what I mean? Like this isn't a free to play game. It costs people money, and you can't keep messing around with a a game that costs people money to play. You got to get it figured out. It's depressing because the game is a blast.
Yep, 100% agree. Because like I said, a lot of those points I put in my review too. What you say?
I was just gonna say, to the point that like it's one of those games where it's like if I'm not playing it, it's what I'm thinking about.
Right?
Because it's just so, the loop is so addictive. It really, and I'll use Friday night. On Friday night, I actually had probably an hour, and I'm like, oh well, I'll jump on and play a mission or two. Nope, couldn't get in at all. Which is, man, there's not too many things more frustrating than finally having time as a 42-year-old adult with a family to play a game and not being able to play it.
Man. Understand. Like, yeah, I still haven't been able to play. Like, I apparently need to get the PlayStation version, because I guess maybe I think it's the PC that they're having issues.
Yeah, I wonder, because I the last 2 days I haven't had any issues on PlayStation getting in, but people still seem to be having trouble on Steam. So I just wonder if the PlayStation servers are getting prioritized.
And that could be.
Sony's like, stop buying our games day one on PC because they don't work.
Right. Trying to force them to buy a PlayStation.
They sure did get a lot of players. The Steam, at least it was. I'm not sure if it still is, but I haven't heard any reason to doubt that it still is. That the Steam version actually has more players than the PlayStation version had. Now, whether or not that's still the case, I don't know. But
I mean, it makes sense. This definitely feels like a game that's more like PC players would more be drawn to this than the PlayStation players.
Yeah, generally speaking, I agree for sure. But yeah, it's so good. I wish we could just talk about all the positive stuff that this game has generated, and not the fact that it doesn't can work half the time. That's an extreme statement. It definitely works more than half the time, but
what's nice,
it's not far off.
Once it gets ironed out, I will definitely come back and play. But yeah, I don't have time to dick around with like losing shit and not being able to play. So.
Yeah, for sure. So the one thing I will say is that I ended up, so the XP that I didn't think I got from some of the missions that I did end up getting it. So it seems like it wasn't necessarily a problem of them not tracking the rewards on the back end. It was just showing it. But still, it's the last thing you want is to spend 40 minutes doing a mission and get nothing.
Right, especially when you did every single thing on that area, because I had that happen. Oh my god! Like, I know I was solo too. Like, I cleared every nest. I cleared all the side objectives. I did the main. Like, I did my thing. Didn't get any of the. I was like,
yeah,
are you fucking serious? What?
Yeah, and I even had, so I had an issue. I can't remember what day it was, where I couldn't even use my, so I unlocked the Twitch drop armor, and I couldn't use it. It didn't show up in my inventory, and then that was when I couldn't log in at all, or I finally got logged in after not being able to get logged in at all. And then when I got back in the next day, then I was able to see my Twitch drop armor. So it's weird, the kind of stuff that's getting affected by these issues.
Yeah,
they even had to turn off the tracking on how complete each planet was temporarily to try to save on some server strain. Yep. So it's crazy.
I'm sure they'll get it together. I'm sure they will, and I will continue to play it. That game is just, it's fun. Like, even with all these issues, like, I will continue to sit there and just try to get into the server or whatever. Like, it's fun. Like, I don't know, it's worth it. Like you said, even solo. Yeah, and I think I've played enough of it now that I've figured out that we were playing it like kind of wrong, because yeah, you should go after the objectives, but really you want to land and just hit every red spot. You want to hit every because there's good loot out there, but then there's the nest to close with the side mission stuff. But like you really cannot dick around on those missions that give you like 15 minutes to close nest and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of those I can't do by myself. I ended up I just get overwhelmed because like you get other bugs that come in and that call for reinforcements, and then like it just you just get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I have not been able to play the robot missions on anything but trivial difficulty solo.
I
They're
believe
just the robots are so freaking hard.
it.
Because as overwhelming as the bugs can be, generally speaking, with the exception of the ones that spit acid, they're like melee. They just
Yep.
rush you, right?
Yeah.
The bots have they have melee things with energy swords and stuff, but they're also shooting at you the whole time. And they know how to move out of the way of your grenades and all that stuff. So they are much more difficult. But they are fun to play against. I have not, like I said, I've not been able to play solo on any difficulty other than trivial against them because they are
They're
very
rough.
difficult.
But that's where it comes in again, having playing with friends or other people online, and then developing those stratagems, like having a good mix of stuff. Because
Yep.
I don't know if you've looked deep into that tree, but like there's like energy shields that you can call down that are like shield an area, but it
Yep.
doesn't last forever. But like you guys can shoot out of it, and I'm like, oh shoot, wow, that's awesome, yeah. And there's like big like heavy bombs, like nuke almost bombs that you can drop down to take out different stuff. And I'm like there's just so much stuff. Like I like I said, I got the guard dog. I can't remember if I got the laser one or I think I got the laser one, but it's this drone that flies around and it shoots a laser out and cuts through like enemies that are around, and then it just like flies back to my backpack to recharge, which is so nice. So it's like an extra gun when you're out by yourself. But yeah, it's just so much. The game is so good. Like I can't wait till they get everything under control. I
Yeah.
just am surprised more than anything that it's just taking so long, because I just feel like a big publisher like Sony is like, oh shit, we got a hit. Let's open the purse strings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's do what we got to do. Like I don't know, but
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Let's see. The other game I can't talk about yet. No, because I can't do that till next week, because that embargo I think is Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah, I think that's pretty much. I'm trying to think. I think that's all I've played for real. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll move on to SpongeBob and the Cosmic Shake.
Hey, what is this? I liked.
Is it good?
Okay, so about that. It's not bad. It's not
Okay.
bad. But this is the same team that remastered and did a really good job of Battle for Bikini Bottom. And so what I would have wanted is another one of those, which is a Mario 64 type 3D platformer, a collectathon. You have the base, the main area, and then you have like the little rooms off of it, or the little areas off of it, like in the paintings or whatever. They did that, but they basically had like SpongeBob's house is a hub world, and then the levels are off of that. Not his house, his neighborhood, and anyways. So I wanted that. What I got is a decent but linear 3D platformer that has a few collectibles. There is a slight hub world, but it's not the same type of game. Like you had missions and things to achieve in Battle for Bikini Bottom, and this it's just kind of, hey, there's a hidden coin in this area, but no matter what, when you go through these areas, it's like playing through the story again. And I don't know, it feels like the easier option was taken, and that's kind of disappointing because like the team clearly put a ton of work in because they had to remake Battle for Bikini Bottom. They didn't just put a new coat of paint over it. It's fine. I'm glad I waited for a sale type of thing. Even though it came out at a budget price, I still don't think it's worth that. Especially when Battle for Bikini Bottom is now like $10, if that, on like everything. So Tomb Raider, the original series, is kind of a blind spot. I remember playing around in the mansion, but
yes,
it was
this
more
was
of
one of the games I couldn't talk about last week.
So I will wait and we'll talk about that when you talk about it, because you can talk about it better than I can. Like, I have not played a lot of it, but I have no experience. So it'll be interesting to see if like things I'm noticing were always there, or if it's just because I have no reference for it. What else have I played? More Pokemon Arceus. More Vampire Survivors. Hey man, I'm fully willing to admit it. I bought it on PC because I wanted to play the DLC, but I wanted to use. I have to set it up properly, but I wanted to use my Steam controller for it, right? Because if I set up the left motion pad, I can just kind of move my thumb over the pad and not have to like move my arm or click buttons, or really like it's just a smoother experience. I was interested in that, but it doesn't work like that out of the box, so I have to set it up. And
I feel like there's still so many mechanics of that game that I don't understand.
And it's weird. I went through a bunch of this game. Okay, so when I played it on Xbox Game Pass, I really enjoyed it. But the way I went through the game feels totally different for me going from scratch again on PC. Like I because I knew certain things, like, and this is just a spoiler, but this is early on spoilers for like one of the things you can do. You get the gauntlet upgrade and the knife upgrade, and as long as you get the knife upgrade to full and you have one gauntlet, you get the ultra super speed knife throwing.
Yeah.
I got that early on, but then I didn't get the library as early as I did on Xbox. And I haven't made as much money, so I haven't got as many upgrades. But I've unlocked access to characters because I did certain things earlier, and it feels like a completely different game, even though I know the mechanics of it. And then the mechanics I forgot seem totally foreign to me now, and like some of the combinations even, and like how certain things work and when I unlock this, because clearly that changes. So my strategies have been very different because I haven't been able to get the Bible fully upgraded, and like that was an early one for me too, because I had the garlic and I used the garlic instead of the Bible. Man, like it's just
what am I not understanding about the full upgrade? Because I've upgraded fully the pentagram, definitely the garlic, but like it doesn't just give it to you. I always get it out of a treasure chest after I've upgraded it.
It always, always
you have to get it. You have to get it out of a treasure chest.
But like I don't think that I have the Bible upgraded, but I've got it to like level, what is it, 9, 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah. You have to have the supporting piece that goes with it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like that's the part I don't get.
So spoiler, it's another book.
It's
there's more than one book, mind you. So
yeah. So the it's so, and Survivor.io copied this method. Every weapon, and there you've got your weapons and your passives that you pick up, and every weapon has a pair with a passive that evolves the weapons. So and then you have to get it out of a treasure chest. So yeah, the Bible, the Bible's like upgrade thing is this little gold. I can't remember what it does.
It's the
It's
it lowers the
it lowers the
it's well, no, I thought it was another book. It's just a golden.
Is it the
book.
thing that looks
No,
like the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it turns into an upgraded book.
Isn't that like isn't that like the cooldown one?
Yes. So the book continuously spins around you without any cooldown.
Right. So the one that is or the two that I think are the most effective are the whip and the hollow heart makes the vampire whip that like continually heals you when it kills stuff. And then the knife and the gauntlet makes the continuously firing knife. And you can kill a lot of shit with those two. And then the magic wand in the book makes the like upgraded magic wand. And
I wouldn't go any further than this because some of it is exploration in this game.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's true.
Those are the basic ones because there are more.
Yes, there are,
and you won't see those items until you achieve certain things.
I have my collection. My collection now shows a bunch of items with no detail of how to unlock them. Like it used to just be characters, now it's a whole shitload of items.
Yeah. Like this game is kind of nuts.
It's crazy.
It's like when you find the item for the first time and then things get really weird. It's like
I don't know that I've done. That's what's weird is like I don't know that I've done that.
You would know.
I mean, I had one level that was like trippy, and I fought one person at the end of it.
And then did you collect an item, and then like a realistic animation happened?
No, like was it? What was it? It was the one where the game resets and it's in a different language.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah, I did that.
That's when things get different because there's items on the maps now.
Yes. And there's also I also have the vendor. So like every time I start a level I have the vendor.
Yeah, so like it's almost a puzzle game, but it's based on completely just experimentation to unlock the next thing. That's the reason why I liked World of Horror as well. Is like I just love the fuck around and figure out how to unlock things.
I did a level, what was it, yesterday, where there was something going back and forth in the level that just kept getting bigger. It never stopped getting bigger. It never stopped getting bigger.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was wild because I couldn't kill it. Like there's no way to kill it.
Yep. But like I don't want us to talk too much about it because I feel like it's all spoiler content. Because like I think we've given enough reason if you haven't played this game yet, which is still on Game Pass, which blows my mind.
Well, it's only like $5 too.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised it's still on Game Pass because like it's worth every penny. I'm surprised this game isn't charging more. And then the DLC content is continuously on sale.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's only $2 to begin with.
Yeah, so like, and then the Among Us stuff changes the things. Like, what the fuck is this game?
I haven't even touched the Among Us stuff.
Oh man, like, just this whole game is nuts. I love it, and it's so funny because I remember when it came out, I was like, I figured I was the last one. I didn't realize you hadn't really. Dude,
I played it like for 20 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is this even? Like,
okay, So that was how I thought when I saw the game because it doesn't translate well in gameplay to sell people that don't know what they're looking at, right? Like a really good round of Vampire Survivors would look amazing to people that have played it, but would look like just nonsense to some extent, just chaos to most. And it's not well animated. It's the playing of it that is like the seller. Because I just tried it because like fuck it, it's on Game Pass.
I'll try anything once.
And then I was like, holy shit, everybody was right. I thought it can't live up to the hype. That's exactly no, it does. It does, even though it looks kind of stupid. It really lives up to like. Now I want to try clones of it because they're going to have their own quirks. And it'll be a new set of challenges.
I still think the best clone. So Survivor.io is it's the best clone. Now it's free to play and it's a mobile game, so you got to go into it with those expectations. But it's a really good clone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I played this game once when it first came out, and I was just kind of brushed it off. I was like, I don't get it. And then like you just keep hearing people talk about it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna download it again. And I don't know, something clicked. Like the first time you get a 30-minute run or like a level 80 run or something, you're like, okay, this, okay, I get it.
When the first time when you really start realizing, oh wait, I can kind of fight death.
I have not been able to do that at all.
No, you haven't been able to? Okay, there's some strategy that goes into it, but like
he just locks me in place and I can't move.
Yeah.
Eventually
changes.
That changes, yeah.
I don't know, like I've discovered different colored ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they are through the stage the entire game.
There's a thing with a piano. Like, this fucking game, man. This fucking game is so stupid. There's no reason. It clicks with some sort of primal part of my brain.
There's literally, but the craziest thing is when you tell people that all you do is move the analog stick. You don't do anything else.
It's just like...
Yeah. Yep.
Caveman brain like.
Yeah, this game is fucking wild. I don't even understand why it's so good, but I can't stop playing it now.
Yeah. Man. So yeah, I bought it on Steam. Like I was like, this has earned my money. But I'd like to, have it somewhere else permanently, because if it goes off Game Pass, I don't know if Xbox is the place I want to play it. But I still wanted the achievements.
Well, yeah, and it was like $5 on Steam. So
yeah. So and I could easily buy all the DLC. Like it's, you know what I mean? Steam is just the easiest to go, I want everything. Instead of like Microsoft, where like if there's not some ultimate package, I have to go and buy the DLC separately.
I mean, it's nice that it's built into the menu in the game.
It is true, yeah.
That's how I bought it.
Like about accessing it that way, but yeah, you're right. It is there on the screen. But
that's how I got it. Like I was playing it one day, and it was like new content available, and I clicked, and it's like it's $1.79. I'm like, okay,
yeah. Oh man, that's a hard sell.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that one. I'm good.
It's amazing though that like this game, I feel like is a game like Pokemon that like clones do their own thing that make them inherently different, or even RPGs, I guess, that are all based off of like Dragon Quest. Like Final Fantasy did its own thing, so it's interesting to see what the clones are gonna do, because I haven't started those yet, but now I really kind of just want to always be playing one of these.
You gotta be
just
careful.
Kind of rotate through them.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because a lot of them are shit.
Yeah, I assume. But I picked up the Humble one that was sometime, I think, last year. That was a bunch of well-rated ones. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's one of those, my brain can just do it, and it's like, happy feelings. And then I played The Pathless. I don't know why I had...
Oh, I love that game.
Some interest. I mean, I love the speed of it.
Yeah,
like that feels awesome. Good. I want more game. Like, I'm gonna say it, this is how when Sonic is good, this is how Sonic feels. It's just Sonic doesn't feel like this usually.
The perpetual motion of doing something and going fast.
Yeah, like attacking enemies should feel like that in Sonic games, and like no, it doesn't. It feels like time kind of stops, so Sonic can kind of bounce vertically off of them. And it's like, no, if you were building a level, you put more distance between the enemies to make it feel like the momentum is carrying them into the next person, even if you're just hitting the A button constantly. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I remembered a game where it's like, what's the game oh fuck, this was hard to do. What's the game where you shoot the arrows and go fast? And of course, I'm like, oh god, please Google. And it was Horizon First, I think, or something like that. I'm like, it was a game where I'm like, yeah, I know that you shoot bows and you can go fast. I meant the one where you do both. But the Pathless did show up. I actually got the Pathless with that search, and so I bought it. It was actually on sale too, so one of those like, oh, well, that's a coincidence. Fine, and started it up on my PlayStation, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I had that feeling, but I was clearly in the mood to have speed, but not wanted race cars. So, yeah, that's it. Like weird collection of stuff that isn't recent. I did pick up Mario versus Donkey Kong, but that was just before the show today, so
I played
nothing
2
to say on that.
levels so far.
Is it good?
I mean,
I like the ones on.
It
Was
is
Advanced?
those games. I mean, I don't want to speak to, like, I haven't even played past where the demo is. Like, I booted up. I was like, "Yep, this is a mix of like Donkey Kong and Gyromite." Okay, I get it.
Oh, okay.
And the kids are like, "What's Gyromite?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I like the Mario versus Donkey Kong because it's a lot like Donkey Kong 94 on the Game Boy, where it's like a puzzle level, but Mario can backflip and handstand and like
you can walk on your hands, which is crazy.
Yep.
It is that game. It is that game. Like, there's literally the most inoffensive game I've ever played. Like, yep, it's pretty fun. It's Mario.
I think that might be more offensive than just saying it's bad.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like it just is.
It's the oh god damn it. There's a word for it. It's the anodyne Nintendo release.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Like,
it's the Kirby before it got good again release. Oh, it's another Kirby game.
Except for Kirby, what's the fucking golf game? What's it called?
Rainbow
No.
No.
Kirby golf game?
Yeah, where you collect stars.
Kirby Dream Course.
Yes, Kirby Dream Course is the bomb.
That game is insane. Yes.
Oh.
But even then, I'm talking like after like the N64 game, when like there was just a bunch of DS, Game Boy, DS, and they were good games, but that was it. They were like, these are good, they're fine.
Yeah,
it's exactly what you think they are.
It's the Nintendo.
So, yeah, I get it.
It's the Nintendo. We're not releasing a console this year game.
Yeah. I hope Peach doesn't suffer that same fate.
I do too. Yeah.
I look forward to that game.
It looks good.
Yeah. It looks really good, but it's like, is it good or is it Chibi Robo Ziplash? You know what I mean? Where it's a good game, but it's not good enough.
Not good enough for the next console. So
not good enough for the next game in this series. Not good enough for the character. Not good enough for the hardware. Yeah. Like, but it's like, it is a fine game, so, you know.
Oh, yeah. All right, Wombat, what you got?
All right. So, I have played Helldivers, which we have talked at length about, so I won't talk more about. And I have played, I started Octopath Traveler 2, because I finally decided that I was okay with starting another turn-based RPG. Helldivers kind of cleansed my palate a little bit from Baldur's Gate, so I felt like I was ready to start another turn-based RPG. So I started playing Octopath Traveler 2. Man, that game is really good, and the music is exceptional. So
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. And then I'll have more to say about that game, I'm sure, as I get deeper in. I just started with the so for those of you who haven't played any of the Octopath Traveler games, sort of the main theme, I guess, I don't know how to put it. The hook of the game is that there are 8 different main characters that you can start with, which is why it's Octopath.
Haha!
And
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, that was badass as hell, right?
Sorry,
Yo.
Terrence and I are actively playing Helldivers while we're on the podcast because we're super professional.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was wow. Okay.
Every time I mute, I'm eating food.
See, we're professionals here.
That's right. So there's 8 different main characters that you can start with, and I started with, can't remember his name now. He's like a samurai basically, and so now the goal is you basically go around the map and you're trying to complete your the character you picked first story, but along the way you'll pick up all 7 other characters and can sort of work towards completing their stories as well. So
I can hear the machine gun in the background. It's just cracking me the fuck up.
My sound is 0, so that's got to be Terrence.
Oh damn! Wait,
I just hear.
So I'm enjoying it though so far because the samurai main character, I did my research ahead of time to try to figure out which character I wanted to start with, and everybody said basically that the samurai had the most, how do I put it, the story that made the most sense for gathering up the rest of the characters, and I can see that now. So I'm looking forward to playing some more of that and finding some of the other characters that I'll need to find along the way. And yeah, that game, if you haven't played the first one, it's got a really interesting turn-based system where every turn you basically earn battle points that you can use to either double or triple the strength and amount of the attacks you do when it's your turn the next time. So you got to kind of balance whether or not you want to.
It's called like bravery points. I think
Yeah,
I
it's something like
first,
that. I think you're right.
It. Okay.
But it's got the same kind of system here, and like the samurai has 2 different weapons. So he's got a sword, and then he's got a pole arm, and different enemies are weak to different weapons. So you have to kind of judge, whether or not the weapon that you're using is what that particular enemy is weak to. It's got a lot of depth to it. So yeah, I'm really digging it so far, and I can't wait to play some more of it. I'm only through the first act of the one character's mission, so I've got a lot to play. I think Jay said it's like 100+ hours, so it's going to take me a while. I'm glad I've got it on the deck so that I can take it with me and play it, offline. But yeah,
I like how Ryan did. Yeah, Ken, that Ryan sounded like he was a war correspondent.
We're on the field.
Coming from Bosnia, like Drew usually is. It's funny how for people our age, Bosnia is the go-to conflict because I don't know if you're like me, you watched war correspondents from Bosnia on Channel 1 and Homeroom.
Yep, Channel 1, baby.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember
that. Yeah, but that's it. More Octopath to come, and really it's just a march towards WWE 2K24, which I'm reviewing, or at least plan on reviewing. We don't have a code yet, and Dragon's Dogma at the end of March.
All right.
Listening to Octopath, it live alive.
I think it's actually
nobody knows
live.
how. Nobody knows
it's actually
how
live. I think it's actually live alive. I think they.
I thought it was live alive.
I thought that too. But if you watch the Nintendo, it's the same word twice.
Oh well, that sucks.
Y'all watch the Nintendo?
Live Alive actually made somewhat sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But if it sounds like that was almost the basis of Octopath.
For sure, yeah. I have read that it was sort of inspired by that game. So
okay, that makes sense because I have played that game's demo, and so I'll probably play. Well, and I bought it. I found it for like clearance for like $15. So
I like
that's
that
why
game,
I buy physical.
You know, I liked the demo, but man, so I played the I think it was the ninja one, the ninja part of the demo, and it was so fucking
hard. Yeah,
I played the future, and it's slow.
It put me off buying the game because it was so hard. So I will likely end up because it tends to go on sale a lot on Steam for like $30. So I'll probably end up picking it up at some point, but I enjoyed what I played of it, but it was just like so freaking hard.
It's inconsistent. The difficulty is super inconsistent because there's some of them that are like Anthony said, it's slow.
The future's just talking.
Yep.
Oh,
it will change. But
there's it's like how do you get past that?
Exactly. Well, that's your first impression. Like, yeah.
It's the I guess so Terrence, have you only played the demo or did you play more of it than the demo?
No, I've beat I haven't beat the whole game. I've beat a handful of the stories.
Okay.
Like I beat the ninja one, I beat the Wild West, I beat the future. I'm working on the martial arts master. I'm stuck on the boss on that one. Right now, the apprentice. But yeah, like it's good, but the difficulty is crazy. Like it's not consistent at all.
Okay, so it's not all like the ninja one.
No, it's not all like the ninja at all. Like if that was, and that's what I'm saying. It sucks that that's your first impression because it's not all like that. But there are some that are more difficult than others. But you could always just like quit that one and go do another story, like because it'll let you go. Oh shit! It'll let you do that. Sorry.
Professional ass motherfuckers in there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it is good. And you actually would like it because it has a really good story. And I think, and Ken might have said this too, but I think at some point, like all the characters from the stories like come together and like you control everybody into some bigger story.
Yeah,
like,
which is the way Octopath works. So you play everybody's individual. So again, you play your starting story solo, and then you pick up other characters along the way and play their story, and then there's more after you get, a full party of folks. So, like Anthony said, it's I think kind of the spiritual successor to the Live game that I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'm sure I'll do it wrong.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought a game with like two very common words would be so hard to pronounce?
Right. Crazy.
But yeah, that's it for me because I think we were somehow technically still on me.
All right. Well, so 3 of the games I hinted at last week I can tell you about this week. I will start with Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. I don't think that game is very good, and I feel like I'm the only one that feels that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like the review consensus has been somewhat decent. So,
but what's
I'm
funny,
anxious to hear what it is that you don't like about it.
Well, what's funny about it is what I don't like about it is in every review. Like I don't understand how like this stuff is okay. So let me just like lay out what it is. So it's a third-person adventure game where you play as 2 characters that you swap back and forth between. They're ghost. What do you want to call it? They're ghost banishers. Basically, they're like paranormal investigators. They go and help people take care of ghosts that are haunting them, or like they're sticking around because the way that they died, things weren't resolved, that kind of stuff. So it's a cool premise. It's an interesting concept. But my problem runs in from the fact that this game, like, the story is good, but it also drags, and they talk constantly. There's a ton of slow, walk slow, talk kind of thing. There's a lot of revisiting old areas to do the same thing. While the concept is cool, when you get to the conclusion of each case, it is literally like there's three options, and they're always the same. So it doesn't feel like there's a true resolution. It feels like, well, you're going to pick one of these three things. You're either going to banish the ghost, you're going to what would you call, like, redeem the ghost, or something else. Like, it's always the same no matter what. The combat is clunky, like extremely clunky. As I said, there's a lot of repeating areas. So, like, you'll go into an area, you do something, you'll come back like forever later, and you've got to do a lot of the same stuff with a lot of. It's just a very badly paced game. And, like, all of the comments about the game and the reviews that I was looking at this week, I was like, you guys are literally bringing up everything that I don't like, but somehow you like. And, like, I don't get it. So
I think, like, the story
is fine, but it drags.
Gotcha.
Like, it feels like it should be about a third of the time that it takes to tell this story. And it's weird. I don't know. I just feel Remember Me is a perfect, like, parallel with this game, where there are parts of it that you're like, this is really cool, but also I'm not having a lot of fun playing this game.
And I loved Remember Me.
I love Remember Me too, but it is a very flawed video game.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely a flawed video game, for sure. The combat is not good.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this game. I'm like, this game is just not very fun to play. And I think that's my biggest problem, is, like, I am just blah when I come to most of the pieces of this game. Like, when you put them together, like, the exploration's not that fun, the resolutions are not that fun, the combat not that fun. So what am I doing here? Like,
right.
But yeah, that was the game that I felt like when I saw the reviews come out, I'm like, really? A 9? Really? I don't know where you're getting at. I don't understand that one. So, the other game, second game that I can talk about now, is Arzet, the Jewel of Faramore.
The CDI adventure.
The CDI adventure, which is basically modeled off of the old Zelda CDI games. This game is fucking fantastic.
So I've heard.
It is so good. Like, they nailed everything that you would want to kind of reference in one of those games. Like, the cutscenes are just, oh man, they're chef's kiss. Like, the voice acting is just outside of, and if you know the people at Limited Run Games, there's a guy who made a game Drew and I used to talk about on Twitter. I think he's like Super NES Joe. I think what's the name of the game he made? Where like the side scroller where you're playing as the eagle shooting people, like the Freedom game. What the hell was the name of it? It was so cool.
Not Freedom Finger.
No, this is an old game. But anyway, he works at Limited Run now, and he does the voice of the rat. It sounds like he recorded it in, like, his basement. Like, the voice doesn't sound right compared to everybody else's voice, but, whatever. It sounds like, and I think, Anthony, you said this, like, they brought back some of the people from the CDI game voiceovers. Like, I can hear them, like, they sound like them, and the animation is dead on what those games were, and, like, every stupid quirk that those CDI games had, like where you have to stab people to talk to them, or like you have to bring up the menu to switch items, like all of that stuff's here, but they made it work. Like, it's streamlined. It feels
it's
good.
What those games should have been. And
exactly.
What I would love to see somebody out there take this game, use its sort of structure, and recreate these Zelda games. Like, redo the animation so it doesn't look exactly like the piece of shit it is.
and don't make you press up to jump.
No.
Like, or stab rupees to pick. Like, you can still attack rupees to pick them up in this game, but you can also just pick them up. So like
Yeah.
that's one of those things I'm talking about where like the nostalgia's there, but also the quality of life is there, and that's why it works. Um, and it's really fun to play, and it's like the story is fun. Like the characters are really fun. It's well written. It's well acted. God, I love those CDI cutscenes. Like, and they nailed them in this game. And the music, oh god, the music is so reminiscent of those old Zelda games. And they tossed in some Hotel Mario in there, where you
That's
got
the bonus stage I was asking you about.
yes, that is the bonus stage. Is like it's Hotel Mario, where you got to close the doors.
The sound effect of the door is what the person I was listening to was
Oh yeah,
talking about.
that sound is embedded in my brain.
Like that, they're like, yeah, they're like, oh, it's the same sound effect.
Yep, yep. The team that made this game understood the assignment and they fucking aced it. That's what I will say about this game.
The last, so he talked about it again. I don't know what his agreement was or whatever. So, but he was saying it feels genuine. It doesn't feel mocking of like the original work.
100%.
And I don't know. I just appreciate that in a world where we get a lot of just mocking of it. Like there's no appreciation that hey, there's a genuine reason why people like this.
Yeah, it works.
And the games could be better. That was the other part where they're like, oh no, they fixed those.
Yeah.
It's so weird though that we got like what was it last year, the year before? Somebody had like redone these Zelda games so they're a bit more playable.
I haven't played those, but I'd like to check them out.
I will look it up for you.
Yeah, like I play those every once in a while, and I'm just like, man, I love the music in these games, and I love the stupid cutscenes, but God, playing it is just a chore.
Yeah, some fan like remade. I think they did both. I know they did the one with Link for sure, but I think they did both of them.
Now that third one is awful.
What's interesting though is I watched a video on it, and some of those things were miniatures. Like the monsters were actual like miniatures they animated and took photos of and digitized.
Man, I love that old stuff.
Like, oh fuck, and like the people that were acting in the cutscenes were like people in the office.
Oh, that makes 100% sense.
But like they had it makes sense until you realize they paid like a ton of money for the props. Like a ton of work went into the props. Like, but because it's so compressed, it looks like shit. Because the video I was watching showed one of the scenes uncompressed, and it looks amazing. Like the production quality is so high, and then the stupid CDI can't render it.
I mean, it was a video CD, so let's be fair. Was it like 650 megabytes of space?
Yeah.
How many videos can you fit on that? I don't know. I love it.
True.
I love it. All right, and the last game that I hinted at last week, there's still two more. I think next week I can talk about those two. But the last one that I couldn't talk about last week was Tomb Raider, and we can discuss that now. My review is live. I fucking adored it. Like, they did everything I would have wanted them to do to achieve that here's how I remember it thing. You know how that goes. Like, you remember this game looking like this, playing like this.
Oh yeah.
But like you go back to it today, it's like, yeah, that's not what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching some video of the clips from that game and remembering the the controls of the original games. And I watched somebody doing one of the platforming puzzles where the what do you call it? The platforms disappear out from under you, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember how much that fucking sucked.
I have a lot to say about the controls in this game.
Okay, I'm anxious to hear it because I don't know that I could go back and play that game now.
I've got I've got opinions on that too, so I'll share mine first because
Yeah,
they're
go for
very
it.
short. Obviously, tank controls are not going to be happening. I'm glad that is an option, but the modern controls, I mean, yeah, it feels fine. I mean, everything that is odd about it is just how physics worked at the time. So like her jumping super high and then having to fall back down until her hands come to the edge of the you know ledge or cliff or whatever
Right.
to climb up. It looks weird. It's clunky, and it's not like if you're a little bit off angle, she doesn't grab the wall and stuff. That's all just how, again, the physics of the game work.
Yeah.
But the modern controls feel modern still. I don't understand how that makes sense, but it does. Like, it's just, I don't feel like I'm playing something like from the past and having to fight against it. It just feels like every time I'm a little less harsh on myself for fucking things up.
So let me ask you this question: how far have you made it into the game?
I have not made it super, super far. I have only been in the first area of the first game, so I'm still in the temple area.
So I'm
I got, you know what? I played one level because I forgot. I found out it was level based, and I'm like, what? Okay, I did not know that Tomb Raider was level based.
Yes, the first few games were level based. So I agree. I like the modern controls for the way that Laura feels when you play. I'm going to tell you that I do not recommend you use them. And I know you're like, God, not tank controls. I can't stand tank controls. That game is built with those controls in mind. And one of the things,
I mean that was my concern about the remaster in the first place.
Yes. Yeah. I played with the modern controls for like the first 3 levels of the first game, and there were so many points where you have to understand the original Tomb Raider games are like some of my favorite old school games, and the whole like holding the button, tapping left the L1 R1 to kind of how you do that little sidestep shimmy, to line up a jump exactly the way you want it, back up 2 steps, take a run forward, literally jump at the base of the. You can't do that with the modern controls. They're too finicky to make that work. And some of the later stages require such pinpoint platforming that if you try the modern controls, you'll be frustrated with tank controls. But if you've never played these games, I recommend you kind of try them and try to get used to them, because there are points in this game that I just don't know that you will be able to do with the modern controls.
Well, what is nice then, even if that comes to be, I am glad that I can switch to the modern controls to move across areas faster.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to ask. Can you switch back and forth from the options menu, or do you have to?
It's not. It's
No,
even in the options.
It's in the options
I think
menu.
it's just when you. Oh yeah, I know you have to go to the options menu. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to go to the options menu.
But
yeah, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it to do some of the you'll be up on high ledges, and you have to make pinpoint steps. Like, I remember the strategy guide telling you, take 2 steps to the left, take 3 steps backwards, run forward for 3 steps, press jump, hold, grab.
That's what I don't think some people who didn't play those games when they first came out understood how precise the platforming in that game was.
That is one thing I noticed. I did not know that was the case. I knew there was some areas later on. I didn't know it was as early as, you know what I mean? Because I've seen videos that have talked about these games, but I legitimately have never played more than just, again, I think I may have played one of them just kind of running around an area that was safe. I think so I have to assume it was the mansion. But it was more interesting.
In the fridge?
Dude, I don't remember.
I saw all people all the people on Twix was talking about. They were like, "Oh my God, you can lock the butler in the fridge." I was like, "Oh, kids."
No, the kids comment that pisses me off the most is people talking about like, I don't respect Crystal Dynamics. Motherfucker, Crystal Dynamics did not make this game.
Right.
Like, you put some respect on the Core name. Core was killing it back then.
Yep.
Right.
Fucking kids thinking Crystal Dynamics made Tomb Raider. Just get the
Yep.
fuck out.
Yep.
This game is way more tense than I thought.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it genuinely
First
gives you
one's- oh,
shivers, man.
Dude,
Like that when they
I
music
was
not-
things.
Well, that's just it too. I thought this game was more actiony,
No.
and
Mm-mm.
and so that was kind of wild.
Yeah,
Like
no, it's-
this feels like
There are portions of it where it's almost like a horror game.
Oh yeah,
Yup.
yep.
Yeah.
you know why I thought it was an action game though? Because the T-Rex. I've
Well,
known
yeah,
about
they-
the T-Rex forever.
Yeah,
So-
they kind of sell it that way too.
They do, but it's
okay,
totally not that
but-
game.
It's totally not. No, it's much more about like precise platforming, and there are a lot of times where you're going to feel overwhelmed, or where there's going to be a friggin' a jaguar or a gorilla or something that jumps out that you're not expecting, and then you're spending 2 minutes backflipping and shooting it with your
Yep.
pistols.
Yep.
Oh, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so like that alone was kind of like a surprise. Surprised how amazing the original game still looks, because a lot of those games don't age well.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, but like you can literally on the fly swap between the new and the old visuals. Now, the old
That's
visuals that
cool.
are in the game are not the original game.
Are they not?
No,
Okay.
because it's widescreen, so they've made some liberties. It is very close, but they have definitely made some liberties.
Like, is the brightness and everything the
Yes,
same?
yes, that is all
Okay,
the
so-
same, and also it's hilarious too. Like this is the perfect game for Wombat, who says he can't tell the difference between 30 and 60, because when you switch back,
True.
it goes back to 30 frames a second.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah, so like when you and the worst part is it's got really bad frame pacing, so it looks awful. Like
Oh.
they need to patch it to where like it's at least got a good frame pacing, because it's very stuttery. It's a lot jittery. It's a lot
frame
more
pacing
jittery
is
than a
the
normal
thing that
30.
bothers me more than the frames per second
Yeah,
is frame pacing, because like if it's 60 and the frame pacing is bad, that bothers me more.
yeah. The frame
Um,
pacing on the 30 FPS version of this is bad. The 60 in this game is fucking butter. Like it does not drop a frame.
I just can't. What blows me away is that the code of paint is amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. Like you don't realize how huge it is until you press that back button.
The worst part of it, the worst part of it is probably Laura herself.
Oh god, the old Laura looks so bad.
But the new Laura doesn't look great.
No, but she looks like
She
a
looks-
cartoon rendition of
Yeah,
Lara
I
Croft.
suppose. Yeah. So, but the world looks more realistic. I guess that's the problem then. To
Yeah.
me, I was like, something's off. But
Yeah, it's
Um,
an aesthetic choice that like they made her look like the covers of the old games.
yeah,
And whereas like if you
Mm.
see her
they
in
did a good
game,
job remastering the original cutscenes too.
yeah, they upscaled them
Even
using
if it's-
AI.
even
Yeah.
You know what? The AI did a good job.
Yeah,
there.
they look good, but they're still a little rough.
Oh, I mean, I think I was flipping back and forth, and I'm like, these are just rough cutscenes.
Yeah, that's another thing that I really love about this is that you can literally do that whole swapping between the new and old, even in the menu,
yeah.
which is really
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yeah,
That
like
is- that's neat.
they put some care into this. Now, there is one thing that pissed me off. You have to save manually, and you can save anywhere.
Yeah.
But when you go into the save menu, the first option is load and not save.
Oh.
Oh.
So the
That's
first
not
time,
cool.
well, the first time I did it, I just hit the A button, and it doesn't ask you.
Yep.
You know, like I said this in my review. Of the 1,000 times I've complained, of course, why are you asking me? Of course I want to save, motherfucker. I wish it would have asked me if I wanted to load, because I lost a solid 30 minutes of gameplay because I did not I just hit load, and it literally threw me back to the beginning of the level. I was like, no.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So like they need to tweak that. At least put like an auto save in there or something. I don't know. It just that one hurt me. That was one of my.
Yeah, that's not cool.
But other than that, I couldn't be happier. Being such a huge fan of those first three games. And Anthony, to answer your question, the third game definitely feels more actiony than the first two. 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
But so what blew me away though is that this is what I thought. If you were going to ask me what Prince of Persia 3D would have been, it would have been this. I think there is one that's like this. I think it's Prince of Persia 3D, but it was like a PC only game.
Yeah.
I think, but it came out after Tomb Raider. Like that's what this is. Like that slower paced, doing the jumps and making. Oh fuck! I did not know that about this. Like I thought it was pretty much like what the newer games kind of were, an extension of.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
And Ken's right. Like the strategy guides that were available, to the extent they were available at the time, were like, this is exactly how many paces you need to take to be able to make this jump successfully.
Yep. I remember that.
Or you have to stand on this exact spot, do a long jump to this platform, back roll to turn Laura around, then jump to the next platform. Like it was all about precision.
Yeah, it was so precise. Oh my gosh.
I remember, so a friend of mine and I beat the second game on his PC, and it just like the way we would always play games together is single player games together is okay, when you die, it's my turn, right? And when I die, it's your turn.
Same thing. Yep.
And so it was a lot of trial and error on the jumps, and trying to make sure that the next person knew, hey, I was standing in this exact spot. You need to make sure that you're 2 steps behind where I was because I overshot this jump or whatever. It was those games are intense.
Yep, and they don't, like I said in my review, they literally don't make anything like that anymore.
No, not at all. It's a genre that really doesn't exist in the modern. I mean, even Jumping Flash was kind of like that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the extent of Tomb Raider, but
no
precision 3D polygonal platforming, and that doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as that.
These games make me so sad revisiting of how IDOS really destroyed Core, because Core is like, if you go back, Core is one of the premier developers between the 16 and 32-bit era. Like if you look at their games, they have put out some of the most amazing, like, genre-pushing, technical-pushing games you've ever played. And then they created Tomb Raider and basically got thrown into, you have to make this game for the rest of your life, and you have to churn it out every year.
So let's go over core design. Holy shit. They ported Sega Games Action Fighter, which is Spy Hunter, and Dynamite Ducks to all those old PCs in the Britain area. Amiga, Atari ST, Amstrad, CPC, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, and that is basically what they were working on.
They made a bunch of great Sega CD games.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So Chuck Rock 2.
Oh yeah, Chuck Rock. Those games were great.
Hook for both Genesis and CD.
Mm-hmm. Great game.
Yep, very good license.
Underhawk, Wolfchild.
Yep.
Wonder Dog.
They did BC Racers. They also did
Racer,
what is the third person spaceship game on the Sega CD? What's the name of that? I don't remember.
Battle Core.
Battle Core is the mech game, the first-person mech game.
Soulstar?
Soulstar, that's the one. If you've ever seen that game, you would not believe that's on a Sega CD. It's
Hold on,
fucking
now I have to
incredible.
look it up. Yeah, I didn't realize they went that far back. I knew that they did some games that were not Tomb Raider, but I didn't know that they were back in the
Yeah, Tomb Raider is kind of what
88.
made them like big back in that time.
Um.
Oh man, they made so many great games.
Wow, I'm just looking. Yeah, so Shell Shock, Firestorm, Thunderhawk 2,
Shell
an
Shock. That
Astra.
Vietnam game?
No, this one looks like a futuristic war.
Oh, that I got you. Okay.
Yeah, this
and
was
then
older.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, and then Tomb Raider Forever until they
And
killed the
then
studio with
Blam
Angel of
Machine
Darkness.
And then,
I'm
oh
so
my god,
bad.
Swag Man? What?
Yeah, Swagman was a PS1 game.
Oh my god. And then Fighting Force.
Yep, they made Fighting
And
Force.
Oh, yeah, I
Raider.
forgot Core was. I forgot Fighting
You
Force.
know what Fighting Force
Oh,
was,
man.
right, Anthony?
So good.
You know the story of that
Yeah,
game.
it was Streets of Rage.
Yep,
Wasn't it?
they pitched it as a 3D Streets of Rage to Sega. Sega was on board, and then they said "fuck you," and that's why the game didn't come out on the Dreamcast, but the sequel did because they cleaned up the right. But if you played the sequel is a shooter.
Yeah, 3D brawler shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Tomb Raider. Then Tomb Raider 2. Then Ninja Shadow of Darkness.
That's a good game.
That
That's
is a good
game.
Yeah.
Man.
I have not played that, so I will take your word for it. I probably have it somewhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's
Um,
a good game.
Tomb Raider 3, Fighting Force 2,
Ugh.
Tomb Raider,
Tomb Raider. Yeah,
Tomb Raider,
they kind of got locked into Tomb Raider after a while.
Project Eden. I love that game. That game's great.
The PS2 game, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, that game is creepy as shit. And it starts off like pretty normal, weird, like dystopian future sci-fi, and then gets fucking wild. Oh man, that game, I still have like fucked up memories of playing that game with my dad. Like there's a part where like somebody turns into a monster, and watching that happen bothers me to this day.
This is why I get mad when people don't put respect on Core's name, man. They made some great fucking video games.
Thunderhawk Operation Phoenix. Oh, I played this game and I did not like it. I should try it again, but man, hurdy-gurdy.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for that game.
It was
I ain't never heard of that.
so slow. So imagine Pikmin mixed with Lemmings, but you are a character in the world as well. So you have to lead these creatures basically to safe havens, while everything in the world is out to just destroy them.
Gotcha.
But it's so slow paced because you have to play the flute, and he slows down when he's playing the flute or the gurdy, I should say. He's fucking. I don't know why I pictured a flute, and it's just like, oh, it was so. I think this game kind of is now rare too because
I'm
it's
sure
not.
it is.
It wasn't something like I got it because it was like $20, brand new. So, but yeah, and then Tomb Raider. Ugh.
Angel
And
of
then
Darkness
Tomb
destroyed
Raider-
that studio, man.
Angel of Darkness, and then it was Smart Bomb for the PSP and free running on the PSP.
Yeah, unfortunately, Angel of Darkness
Huh.
really killed that studio.
Yeah.
That game
That's
was
so
supposed to
bad.
be the inaugural PS2 game. And it was supposed to be this huge. Like, there's so many stories about the stuff that was cut out of that game, and just depresses me, man. After what they did with 1, 2, and 3, like when you get into Revelations and Chronicles, like they're fine, but they're not like those first 3 games.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Are those games more like what I always pictured Tomb Raider to be?
They're a little more that, but not.
There's not as good as the originals.
No.
Okay.
Revelations and Chronicles are not. They're not great. They're just kind of there. They felt like
PC, but...
yeah, they felt like Core was being forced to make a game, and they were like, all right, well, I think Chronicles is like a bunch of left on the cutting room floor shit from 3 in Revelations, if I remember correctly. Like, they just did not care at that point. They're like, we're so tired of making Tomb Raider, we don't want to make it anymore. So
Yeah.
Which you can't blame them, you know.
No.
They were never
It's,
locked into one game for very long, so.
Oh my god, yeah, okay, so I just... This is the beginning of the second paragraph on Chronicles. Despite the intended death of Lara Croft in The Last Revelation, spoilers for a game that's that old.
Everybody knows
core,
it.
Yeah, everybody.
Core design.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not
Oh,
know
really?
that.
Yeah,
No.
no, because the fifth one opens with her funeral. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Core design was told by Eidos to continue the series while a new team worked on the Angel of Darkness for PlayStation 2. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, they were set up.
That tells you everything you need to know about what happened with that team.
Christ. Oh my god.
Eidos was making money hand over fist with the Tomb Raider series, so they didn't want it to end.
Yep.
So it's depressing, but now we have these games. They're out there. You can play them. They're fantastic. All right.
That hurt, though. I did not know this story.
Oh, yeah. Like, Core Design was one of my favorite developers growing up, so, like, when Angel of Darkness happened, it was very depressing for me. All right. Let's talk about what's coming out this week. A lot of stuff going on.
Us.
What's that?
Sorry, nothing.
Terrence and I are bug hunting still, so.
Oh, for God's sake. All right, let's go through. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, King Arthur, Knight's Tale, Balatro, which I've heard a lot of good things about.
Hey, didn't King Arthur already come out?
I don't know.
What is Balatro?
Balatro is a indie card game of some sort. A lot of people talking highly of it. I haven't played for obvious reasons, but you know.
Right, because it's an indie card game.
Yes, there's two words there that, like, no. It's a big ass no. MX versus ATV Legends 2024 Monster Energy Supercross Championship DLC. I'm tired.
Jesus. That was the whole name?
That's the whole name. That's the whole name. What the... Quomp? QOMP?
Oh.
QOMP2. Quomp 2?
So not only Quomp, but Quomp 2.
Quomp 2.
Mm-hmm. Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, and there's not even a space.
No, it's just one string of letters. Yes, and numbers. It's crazy.
An artful reimagining of Pong.
Oh.
Control a Pong ball aching to break free of its life stuck between two paddles.
Aching to break.
Aching to break. A Pong ball is... What?
It's aching to break free.
Achy breaky Pong. My achy
Explore
breaky
a
Pong.
dangerous minimalist world armed with simple 2-button controls.
He might blow up and break this brick.
Woo!
All right. Return to Grace. The Lost Legends of Redwall. The Scout Anthology. The weekly Warhammer game. Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate. Damon Hunters.
Pre-order that.
They're hunting for Matt Damon. Matt Damon. A Time Traveler's Guide to Past Delicacies.
Okay.
Final Fantasy XIV Online, A Realm Reborn beta for Xbox.
Oh,
That's this
yes.
week. Yep.
I forgot about that. I am excited.
Cool.
Welcome to 2024 where you only play one game. Fuck.
Definitely give that a shot.
Rounds. Slave Zero X is finally coming out. Holy shit, I've only been hearing about this game for like 4 years.
Right? I feel like I played a demo.
Yeah, there was a demo.
Of that.
There was a demo.
Okay.
Like, honestly, like, who actually remembers Slave Zero? Like, come on. In this game,
The robot game from
the Dreamcast. Yeah.
Dreamcast, yeah. I had to look it up. I didn't remember. I was like, wow, okay. I didn't know this was even a thing.
And this new game doesn't play anything like that old game.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Not at all. That old game is a third-person, like, giant robot action game. This is like a side-scrolling, like, I want to be a Devil May Cry, but with stiff combat. And it's not very good. I didn't like the demo. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like the demo. Tenderfoot Tactics, 502's Arcade, Garden Life, A Cozy Simulator, Inculinati, Flooded, and Promenade.
Promenade left.
Well, Promenade. PlayStation 5 looks like mostly the same stuff. Pacific Drive, which I hear a lot of people talking about, that's out this week. And Strange Horticulture.
Strange Horticulture.
Yeah.
I've heard it's a puzzle game.
Sure. What isn't these days? Nothing on PS4. That isn't on PS5. Xbox is the same. There's a new Airy game. Because, of course, there is.
Man, those do come out a lot. Jesus.
Yep. This one's the Stone Age. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can get your caveman on. Nintendo Switch. This week we've got Hopping Bunny. Plate Up. Bandle.
Plate Up is one of those stressful food cooking serving games, isn't it?
Yeah, it's already out on Game Pass.
A roguelike too.
You can play it on Game Pass right now if you want.
That's like what's the big one?
Overcooked?
Overcooked, that's it. Man, that game is so stressful.
Yes, it is.
Bandle Tale, a League of Legends story.
Yes, I'll have a review for that.
Froggy, a retro platformer. Metro Simulator 2. Apex Heroines. Geometric Sniper Z.
Is that in the Apex Legends universe, or is that?
I mean, this is Nintendo Switch,
else?
so
I
figured if it was a new Apex game, it would probably be on everything.
Yeah, you would think.
Lunaria, Virtualized Moonchild.
Okay.
Quadroids, which I heard is a lot like Lemmings.
Man, how many games like Lemmings are they going to come out with?
I was about to say
475,000.
we're doing a lot of Lemmings games.
Slime Boo. Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass Wave 2 Side Order. Squirrel Stapler.
Squirrel.
Why are we stapling them though? Like the fuck?
That's a little weird.
I don't
like
know.
Right. What the hell?
Please don't staple squirrels.
I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure I know who. Yeah, it's the guy who made Dusk.
Oh, okay.
He's the same guy who did Iron Lung. All of his stuff is weird.
I mean, Dusk is awesome. I've not played the other games.
They all look like Dusk.
Okay.
Basically, but so Squirrel Stapler is a shooter.
Of course.
And Iron Lung is first person. But you are in a small room and you control a sub, but you have to keep looking over to know where you are in the sub, and then you can take a photo and it prints out what the sub is looking at because there's no windows. You've been welded into a box, essentially. It's very claustrophobic. It's my nightmare, essentially, of being in the deep ocean.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got a couple new characters for Them's Fighting Herds.
Really? I thought that got canceled.
It's
so
already
did
out.
I.
Huh. Okay. They had stopped development on it. I mean, like they had like all that. Like I didn't know they were doing any more characters.
I don't know.
All right.
It's a weird game. Toy Rider, Johan the Parhelion, Numazu in the Mirage. That title's doing some work.
Right.
Dino Race, Dinosaur Ride Ranch. That's a weird fucking name. The Jump Guys, Truck Sim 2024, Unlife, and Wira and Tasca Against the Master of Gravity.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a thing that has happened. All right, let's do some news. Shuntaro Furukawa, president of Nintendo, called Pikmin a flagship IP. Oh my god.
Yep.
That's cool.
Game that sold well will continue to be made.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Breaking
and was
news.
critically acclaimed.
Kirby is coming to McDonald's Happy Meals in Japan.
Oh, I wish it was coming to Happy Meals here.
Yeah, McDonald's in
Right.
America is like, who the fuck is Kirby?
Exactly.
I'd buy a Kirby Happy Meal.
I mean, I would too.
I'm grown, and I'd buy a Kirby Happy Meal.
Yeah, just burn his face into the top of the bun.
I mean, yeah, we don't get any of that cool stuff. Like, man.
Because Americans suck.
You could charge me $1 more by putting it in a different bag and putting the little face on the burger and be done with it.
They're like, listen, Americans are going to eat at McDonald's anyway. We don't need to have partnership
Exactly.
agreements.
Yeah,
Right.
they fat ass can't go without a Big Mac. It's fine. All right, so this story broke over the weekend, originally reported by VGC, that a couple of development sources have told them that the Switch 2 is now been moved to early 2025, that the couple games that they were working on have been pushed out. It was also claimed that 5 other sources gave the same info, indicating an early 2025 release, which immediately caused panic in the financial area of video games, because everybody was kind of banking on a new Nintendo console in 2024. Projections were made based on the thought that Nintendo would release a new console in 2024.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that looks like it's not happening. So Nintendo, I have a solution for you to make a whole bunch of money this year. Put the fucking Zelda games on the Switch.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to be like, no, we good.
You got that shit sitting in a vault somewhere. You know it's done.
Devil's Third.
That's no. No.
That's what's going
It's
to
the
be.
only other game that I could think of that hasn't been ported.
See bird,
Ugh.
bird go boom, bang, shoot the bird in head. You ever played that game? That's exactly what he's doing the whole time.
I have not played that
piece
game
of shit.
because I have
I
more
heard it
respect.
wasn't
I have more
bad.
It's
respect
not
for
bad.
myself than that.
It's not bad.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just heard it was fine. Like, it's not Ninja Gaiden. Like, he didn't set the world on fire. Like, he kind of, I guess people were expecting, but it's just kind of like, meh, okay.
Remember,
But I didn't
that
play it
game.
myself.
That game had an online multiplayer.
I do remember that. Yep.
It lasted 2 weeks.
I was going to ask if it worked at all, because like I said, I didn't actually play the game.
It worked for 2 weeks.
That's funny.
That game was fine. It's that's just what it is. All right, PlayStation news. Sony Korea announced that Rise of the Ronin will not launch in Korea.
Dang.
I could read this statement.
It apparently has some stuff in the story. That is
according to this
objectionable.
its statement, it says it's glorifying Shoin Yoshida, a 19th century thinker who advocated Yonghan theory, which is the theory of invasion of Joseon. I'm butchering these words and I apologize.
Okay, well, all right then.
Jeff Grubb has heard that Sony is planning to release one first-party IP this year, and that it is Astro. Maybe? New Astro game?
That'd be nice.
Which would be the only game, because according to another report, Sony has no... Actually, it's not a report. They said it. They will not have any of their flagship IPs this year.
Yep.
Right.
So...
Which isn't much of a surprise, because they've released flagship IPs over the last couple years, but still doesn't...
I mean, last year was light. Spider-Man and...
Yeah, Spider-Man and a Horizon DLC.
That is not 2 years. This is the shit we gave Xbox a lot of shit for. 2 years and only 2 games? That's... I don't like that.
Yeah, but Sony puts out Last of Us, so that's okay. They get a pass, because Last of Us.
I mean...
All right.
Yeah.
They could just put out another remaster of that.
I mean, they already got one this year. We've got 9 more months, guys. We can get another one in there.
Right. We can fit it in. It's all right. We can get a first party out. We can do it.
It's a remaster, but Joel looks slightly more like Pedro Pascal.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if y'all are.
Spider-Man remastered method.
I don't know if you prepared for season 2 of The Last of Us, kids.
Oh, right.
Anyway, PlayStation Plus for the month of February, we've got Need for Speed Unbound, The Outer Worlds, Tales of Arise, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Lego Worlds, Lego Jurassic Park, Rogue Book, Rogue Lords, Tales of Zestiria, Rogue Everything.
Right.
And then your classics for the month are Resistance Retribution, which was a PSP game, Jet Moto 2, Tales of Symphonia, the remaster, and Tales of Vesperia, the remaster. So, classics from the PS4. Again, Sony, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took us 2 months to get both Jet Motos. Them motherfuckers like 300 megabytes. What are you doing?
Yeah. Jet Moto is another game that hasn't aged well.
No, it has not, but I still love it.
Yeah,
Man, that was so much fun back in the day. It was the first game we got on PlayStation.
Jet Moto 2 was one of my favorite games on PlayStation, but yeah, it has not aged well.
You only need Jet Moto 2, because Jet Moto 2 has all the tracks from Jet Moto 1, and Jet Moto 3 is fucking terrible. So
yes, correct.
I play that one. Yeah, we only Jet Moto 2 was the last one we played.
Also in that report about no flagship IP this year, Sony also said that the PS5 is entering the latter stage of its life cycle. No shit. It's been 4 years.
What are you talking about? Like, just to me, it's like, okay, I don't think you've put out the catalog that you've done in the past.
Well, they haven't, but
no, they haven't for sure.
It's COVID. It's
just
yeah. I mean, we're like you said, Ken. We're 4 years in.
Yeah.
To this.
I'm glad I didn't
generation.
waste the money. I guess that's the best way I can put it. Like,
I have both. I have both a PS5 and a Series X, and I don't feel like I wasted my money at all.
I'm not saying but to me, it's like it's been a harder sell for me, is what I'm saying. Like, it's already been a harder sell for me, and then like them saying this, I'm just like, well, so what the fuck was the point?
Well, there's been
they just never showed up with stuff I wanted to play too. I understand that. That's how I'm feeling to this news. Is like.
There's a lot of conversation about this generation of being... I understand people who haven't felt the need to upgrade because there hasn't been a ton of games that you can only get here because we had that crossover for like the first 2 years where everything was on the old systems as well as the new.
Right? Yeah.
And now it's like, well, we're kind of at the point where we're going to start hearing about the next consoles before it feels like these have already got... I saw this quote, and when I first heard it, it kind of pissed me off. But after a while I thought about it, I was like, that kind of feels right. This generation may be the most forgotten generation in history. Like, yeah. I just don't know that it's going to... People aren't going to look back at it and be like, man, that generation was chock full of great games. We're playing great games, but they're kind of everywhere. Like, you don't have to have a PS5 for stuff except for maybe Spider-Man 2, well, Ratchet and Clank.
And those two are both... Well, Ratchet and Clank's on PC, and Spider-Man 2 will eventually be on PC.
True. But there isn't like that, for lack of a better word, there isn't that Mario 64. There isn't that, original Spider-Man that you could only get with these new consoles.
Yeah.
Like, even fucking Halo Infinite was on Xbox One. Like, What are we doing?
Well, and on Steam too.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I think that's where we're going. And not to jump too much ahead into other conversations, but like Sony admitted that in this same report. They're like, hey, we kind of need to put our games other places because the console market's kind of stagnant. Like, it is where it is. It ain't going to grow. So I expect a lot more PlayStation games to come to PC, and probably sooner.
Yep.
So, Eventually, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I know people think I'm crazy. I think in 10 years, we do see PlayStation games on Xbox and Nintendo.
I mean, you already got one.
Well, you already have one.
I understand it, but that wasn't their choice. That was the MLB's
Yeah, that's
choice.
MLB's. Yes.
Right.
I think Sony will. I think if Helldivers 3 comes out in 10 years, it's on everything. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even assuming they get the server issues fixed. I'm not even so certain that this one's not going to end up on Xbox.
I think it would be great if they put it on Xbox because, like you said, more people playing makes this game better.
Yep.
Agreed.
Speaking of games coming to other platforms,
hold on, just 1 second.
Oh, go ahead.
Does Helldivers have microtransactions?
It does, but they're really all cosmetic.
Okay, but I was going to say it was another way for like Sony to pull revenue out of it. It's just another market where there's people that will buy stuff because they like the game.
Right.
That's all I was thinking about.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the biggest news that we've been talking about for 2 weeks. It finally happened, everybody. Xbox went out and did a podcast that was 22 minutes long.
Damn stupid internet. I'm so glad I'm not on Twitter.
So,
oh man,
Jim Cat was really mad, and then this podcast came out. So let's talk about this nothing burger that was a podcast. So 4 games are coming to other platforms. They didn't name them, but I 100% can tell you that the 4 games are Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. And you know why they didn't announce them? Because there's a Nintendo Direct this week. Just wait.
Yeah.
And Phil was not going to screw Nintendo for the announcement that Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment are probably shadow dropping on the Switch this week.
Can't wait to play it.
It's great. It's fucking great.
Hi-Fi Rush is so excellent.
Indiana Jones and Starfield are not one of those 4 games. And Phil told The Verge that he wouldn't rule out Indiana Jones or Starfield on other consoles forever, because why would he say forever? And people got upset about that article.
Yeah, like, I don't even know why that question was even posed to him.
You know why
because,
it was.
Again, it's a business. Well, yeah, I know. But, like, why would he ever say, like, it's just a damned if you do, damned if you don't, like, kind of thing. I
got to tell you this. I know it's a joke. Don't get mad at me. I hate the term Xbox tax. It kind of exists. But I heard another statement today that made me laugh. You know what the Sony equivalent of it is? It's called the Sony stimulus.
Oh my God. Nice. Sony stimulus. All right.
So, like, you get favorable when it's Sony, but you get the tax when it's Xbox.
Yeah, like people.
I hate fanboys, but sometimes some shit is just gold, and I gotta laugh at it. It's just so funny.
That is true. Funny is funny.
Game Pass, again, they have reiterated, will only be on Xbox and PC. I'm sure that's not by choice.
Yep.
I guarantee you, if he could get an Xbox Game Pass icon on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, he would 100% do that. They did reconfirm all first-party games are coming to Game Pass day one. That was another rumor that, like, oh, they're going to take away the first-party games. Then what is Game Pass at that point, truthfully?
Right.
Diablo 4 is the first Activision Blizzard game coming to Game Pass on March 28th, which, again, I don't think they wanted to announce that, I don't know, a month before it comes out to stifle sales.
Right.
So there's that. Xbox is already one of the largest publishers on Switch, PlayStation, and mobile. No shit, you bought Activision and Bethesda. Duh. They will give an update on hardware this holiday, and Sarah Bond said the next Xbox will be, quote, the biggest leap in technology ever. Ever.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Like, man.
Like, if you're gonna tell me, that it's bigger than Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64. Like, really?
Right.
Like, really? Come on. Xbox Showcase is coming in June. That's been confirmed, and they finally gave us Game Pass sub numbers, which are at 34 million, including Xbox Game Pass Core.
Oh, I didn't realize they actually did the sub numbers.
Yeah, she slipped when she said Diablo was going to be playable by 34 million people, which is also false because Game Pass core members don't get to play it.
Right, that's what I was going to say. They kind of tucked that. That also includes Game Pass Core in it.
Yeah.
They kind of tucked that in there at the last minute.
Which is also a very telling sign that Game Pass is not growing, which is why they're putting these 4 fucking games on other platforms.
Right.
Like, I don't know if people realize this, and this isn't just PlayStation, this isn't just Xbox, it's also PlayStation and probably Nintendo. Video games ain't in a great place right now money-wise, which is why we're seeing a lot of layoffs, a lot of canceled games.
Well, and the install bases aren't growing.
No, they're not.
I think, I read a thing this week that was basically, for the last 3 or 4 generations, the combined sales of at least of PS4 of PlayStation and Xbox, have been about 180 million.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're continually growing the install base of next gen consoles. And all the Nintendo fans are going to get mad because I said next gen consoles and didn't include Nintendo, but it's not getting bigger.
No.
It's the same folks buying each generation. So yeah, you're gonna eventually have to see these guys put their games on, some of their games, not all of them, but some of their games on other platforms, especially the live service stuff, because it just doesn't make sense not to.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. You need people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's also, again, I give Microsoft a lot of credit for forward thinking. I think that's what entirely inspired the Series S. They were trying to sell more consoles to more people. It didn't work.
Right.
Like, it failed. But that is exactly why they did it, is they wanted a cheap entry-level system for people to start to grow hardware stuff. And it just didn't happen. And Nintendo just kind of got lucky with the Switch because, it seems like every other generation Nintendo gets really, really lucky. Like, they find that lightning and they capture it.
Yeah.
But PlayStation and Xbox, like you said, that shit's been stagnant since probably PS3 360 gen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things are going to change over the next couple of years, and I don't think fanboys are going to like it.
Nope.
Nope.
It's going to be funny to watch.
It'll be hilarious to watch. But, I'll just be over here playing my games. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Tales of Arise is also coming to Game Pass. Soul Hackers 2 is leaving Game Pass on February 29th. Oh, excuse me. Xbox February update. Again, these updates are just lame at this point. Automatic profile sign out. Thanks. Improved filtering and sorting of My Games and apps. Touch controls enabled on Xbox Remote Play. And new thumbstick recalibration tool for Xbox wireless controllers. Are you excited? You shouldn't be.
Oh. Yeah. Not. I don't really care.
Yeah. Don't care. Toys for Bob is still alive. The reason that they were downsized is because they wanted to go fully remote. And the rent lease for the office was running out and was too big for the devs working on new projects. Yeah, they're working on a new game. So, exciting. Oh, what do we got here?
That's on me.
That's on you. What?
Terrence just zero tolerance to me.
Oh.
That's what we're calling it now.
Yep.
You will never match my greatness. I'm just gonna.
No, he didn't kill four once, so yeah, that's true.
I didn't blow up your explosive barrel or shoot you in the face for hitting me with a snowball. Y'all need to get on my level.
Man, this guy is bigger minutes than the bugs.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as entertaining if it wasn't there.
True. So much fun. Oh, man.
Release dates. Let's see if there's anything in it. Did y'all know this game Hawked came out?
I saw that on Twitter or Twix, but I have no idea what that is. Like, it looked like a Fortnite Indiana Jones type deal or something.
It's an extraction shooter.
Oh,
okay.
It literally just came out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, what even is this? I don't know. Earth Defense Force 6 has been delayed to summer in the West.
Probably because they want to make sure that they got enough servers. They're like, you know what? People apparently loving these killing bugs now. Let's make sure our servers are on point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. Ain't nobody gonna
Yeah, nobody's playing Earth Defense Force after playing Helldivers and going, "This feels great."
Yeah, no.
No one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I love Earth Defense Force, but they control like shit.
Dragon's Dogma 2 will launch with an uncapped frame rate.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
That's
matter for
awesome.
Yeah, I know. For Wombat, it don't matter. Although, actually, I think it will matter because it won't be consistent.
me. Yeah, it's true.
So, like, if
That-
they'd at
that
least
is true.
capped it at 30, we might be all right. But yeah, here's one to make you mad. A spiritual successor to SSX from the creators of the series was in development at Supernatural and had a publishing deal with 2K, but 2K pulled out and the game got canceled.
Oh,
Boy,
that does
I
suck.
love the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Give me a new Amped instead.
Oh man, Amp 3 was like one of the
Amp
greatest
was
games
good.
ever.
Yeah.
Another blind spot for me. Never played it.
Oh man,
The
Amp 3
first
was...
two games are
Never played
different.
SSX either.
Well, the first two
Oh,
Amped
really?
games are very different than the third one. Just FYI.
I played Snowboard Kids on N64.
Pretty much.
You need to play
That was-
the first SSX and SSX Tricky.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tricky was
Yes.
good.
Tricky was so good. Yeah, you can skip the third one.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
Tricky
I'm pretty
was so
sure I
good.
have all of them on my PS3. So
You can also skip that reboot that came to the 360. It's
yeah, I'm not going to buy a game.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that one. It was just called SSX. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can skip that one too.
Yeah, that game can go away. The first two are gold though. Play those. And then
Oh,
play
man.
Amped 3. Play Amped 3.
Okay.
There is nothing
EA
like Amped 3.
EA big, man, just hit different. Like they need to bring that stuff back, man. And then NBA Street, NFL Street,
Def Jam,
like
Def Jam, yeah.
because SSX was a part of the EA big line. Like those.
That was the
those
first
games were so
one, wasn't
good.
it? 'Cause
I think it was.
It was PS2
Yeah.
launch, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, just good stuff.
Yeah, I think Amped 3 was probably my most played early 360 game.
Amped 3 is a product of a weird thing. That game is wild, dude. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it is not just a snowboarding game, Anthony.
Nope.
It is something
Okay.
else.
All right then.
The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo will get an update on February 21st, which will boost visual quality when you select performance mode. I've heard it is very blurry in performance mode, so that is a good
good thing.
update.
Yeah.
Free Shadow the Hedgehog costume for Sonic Superstars.
Yay!
It is literally a costume too. Like you can see
I know.
him
Yeah,
put it
he's
on.
Sonic's face. Well, that's because there is no shadow in the classic Sonic,
Yeah, it's
so they just put a costume on normal Sonic.
costumes.
Costume.
What else we got here? No Man's Sky is getting another update. This one's called the Omega update.
Yeah, it's free to play, right?
I mean,
Didn't I read that?
who doesn't own No Man's Sky
Actually,
anymore?
yeah, it is. I read that.
Here's a good rumor. If it comes true, would be pretty good. Respawn is working on a first-person Mandalorian game.
I believe
Oh
it.
yeah.
They're never making Titanfall 3.
Oh yeah, I was
I
gonna
mean,
say
this is
thanks,
Titanfall
Terry.
3, right?
No,
No, it's not.
no, it's not.
No.
I mean,
Titanfall
you're
2 is
gonna.
so
It's
good.
gonna have to be because you ain't getting a
Titanfall
Titanfall
2
3.
Titanfall 2 is like the perfect 80s sci-fi buddy cop film.
Yeah, that's the single play, and I mean, I love the multiplayer port. Like the multiplayer is so balanced and good in those Titanfall games, but the story that they added, that second one, is so fucking good. Like, and
Oh,
that
the
game is
pacing
always
of
on
it.
sale. Spend the $5 just to play the
Dude,
single player.
at
That
one
story
point-
is phenomenal.
At one point, there's a dollar store brand or a chain called Dollarama in Canada, And they had copies of Titanfall 2 on Xbox One for
Stop
$4.
it. Wow.
Brand new.
I need about $250.
I bought
$350.
one, even though I played it on PS4. I bought one for Xbox One as well.
It's on sale on
Nice.
Xbox Live, like for like $3
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
it's
like
on sale
all
on
the time.
Steam all the time too.
Yeah.
Yep. Shame they're not gonna go back to that franchise, but whatever. They making money, so good for them.
Also, Amped 3 is Xbox?
Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have a question. Remind me to ask it at the end of the show.
Okay. Before or after we stop recording, I guess is my question.
Before we stop recording?
Okay. I think I've only got like one or two more news stories,
Okay.
and we're good. And if you needed another reason to hate Embracer, here's a good one. Embracer reduced its global workforce headcount by 1,387 people, or around 8%. They have closed or divested 7 internal studios and canceled 29 unannounced games.
And fuck those guys.
29?
29 unannounced games. One of those is Time Splitters, by the way, just so you know what you lost.
I fucking hate Embracer so much.
Like, they overextended something crazy.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Yeah.
They let ELX 2 happen.
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I refuse.
there's
That
no
game was
goddamn
not
reason
good.
why ELX 2 should have even existed after the first
Motherfucker, they let a Risen Remastered happen.
one.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all
Fucking
doing?
Like, that's the type of shit you do when you're not trying to run, like, a huge-ass operation. Like, I liked when they were niche. Sucks that they became this piece of shit.
Yeah. And then the last story is also sad. 24 employees of the Disco Elysium devs are at risk of redundancy. The standalone expansion for Disco Elysium was canceled, the sequel was canceled, and the new sci-fi IP was paused in 2023, but they still have 2 games in development.
That is crazy because that game, I didn't play that game, but I remember it won all kinds of awards and all that shit.
Was,
like the sequel and everything
highly
is
praised.
canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
The creative staff did a really good job. From every story I've read about it, it's all about the mismanagement of the studio.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and the people that created Disco Elysium are gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're gone. So sad.
Yeah, it's a sad day. Video games are changing, y'all.
You can't even
Absolutely.
guarantee that you're gonna be successful with a super hit.
It sucks, man. Like, I think, like, we've got a bunch of games that are coming out this year that are going to probably be very, very good. But I think this is the year it starts to turn.
It's definitely what's going to happen is you're going to start to see an emphasis on non-AAA, smaller budget games.
Yeah.
Because it's just not going to be AAA development's not going to be sustainable anymore.
No, Spider-Man costing $300 million is just not. You just can't keep doing that.
Right.
It's just too much money. But that's all I've got for the news, and I don't have any tweets or emails. So Anthony,
Give me like a split second here. I just put food in my mouth.
nah, you just go just talk while you got food in your mouth. That's fine.
Go.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
just go.
I got an idea. What do you think Nintendo's going to talk about in this direct this week? What do you think?
You mean besides the Xbox stuff?
Right.
They have to know at this point that like Switch 2 is not coming out this year, so like what
Yeah, I mean they're going to talk about like Peach.
do you well, I've heard it's a partner showcase, so like would they talk about Peach in that?
I don't know. Probably not. Not if it's a partner showcase. I hadn't heard that.
Like you figure you've got at least 2 of the Xbox games are in that showcase. Like I don't think all 4 of them are in there, but I think at least 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't think
You're
all
probably
four are
right.
gonna. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be like you said, the Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment more than likely.
I want to know how Hi-Fi Rush is going to run on a Switch.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, like it's just. Also, how much are they going to charge for it? Like,
Yeah,
also,
I'll let you know.
That's the question. Yeah,
you know what my big question is if Sea of Thieves comes out, are they going to try to charge $70 for that?
man,
Ugh,
I hope not.
I hope not.
How much? Like, I've never had to look at a price of that game. How much does that game cost on Xbox?
I have no idea.
I don't think it's because I own it actually, and I want to say it was like 50 when I bought. I don't think it was even a $60 game when it came out.
Steam's got it for $39.99.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not on sale, right? That's like the actual regular
Yeah,
price.
that's the
Yeah.
MSRP. $39.99 on Xbox. Yeah, it looks like it's $40. So $40, I think, if you put it out on PlayStation and Switch, is a pretty fair price for that game.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Anthony, have you done?
Yeah. So the Xbox 360 store is closing this year.
Yeah, I was on it yesterday. Yep.
Is
I didn't
there
know that.
anything that you can think of that would be necessary to grab?
I will give you one, but it's just for me. The Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection, because that motherfucker is not available anywhere.
Okay.
I was looking through it yesterday because I had the same question. I had the same question of like, is there anything that I need to go grab? I think Eternal Sonata's on there.
I have that on disc.
Okay,
so,
so
but yeah,
That's good.
got that on
yeah.
disc. You're good.
like that's the reason why I grabbed the Fist of the North Star DLC
I need
and
a list.
the other game.
I need a list of games that are on that store that are not backwards compatible. Like that has to exist somewhere, right?
I'm sure. I'm
No,
sure.
but I did notice that if I bought Call of Duty 3 because I haven't played that one ever. It's rough. Wow. Anyways,
Is that World at War?
no, Call of Duty
Oh.
3, like the early Xbox 360 game.
Yeah,
Oh.
you think that's rough. Try playing it on the Wii.
Ooh.
There's a bunch of Xbox originals on there that are not backwards compatible as well.
But what was weird was they were charging $20 on the Xbox 360 marketplace and $14.99 on the Xbox like One and up store.
Do you think so? Here's my next question, and I know nobody knows the answer to this, but I would really love to know what the. So you said it's closing in June, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. When it closes, do we have to go through that download history to download the games, or like are they still going to be there, just not purchasable? What do you think?
You know it's the downloads list.
That downloads list is the most awful thing ever created. It's worse than the PS3 store.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, it is.
Because the stuff that's been delisted is just says content not available, and you have to click into it. And if you remember the 360, you downloaded a fuckload of videos and gamer pictures that are no longer available. So,
I did not do that. Thank God.
God,
See, I did. Yeah.
You need to fix that before that closes down. Yeah, I think we need to get a list of stuff that's on there that's not backwards compatible, because that would be the question of like what is. Because I saw a couple yesterday when I was digging through it. Like I'd like to pick up Sega Soccer Slam. I don't think I have that. There's also, was it Raises Hell, which I enjoyed. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System is on there. The first Mercenaries is on there.
Oh, the first both those Mercenaries games are great.
Mercenaries 2 is backwards compatible, I think, but the first one is not.
It's not. No, wait, I think the first one is. I think it made it like the last round.
Maybe you're right.
Like I have it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I just don't own it or something. I don't know, man. It's so hard to keep track of all this stuff, especially when you have 5,000 goddamn Xbox games.
Yeah, you got a lot of games, friend.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to figure out what's on there that I don't own, that I can only buy there. Because those are the things I need to pick up at some point before June. Because I just bought a new 360, 360E, baby.
Yeah, I love that console.
The hard drive worked perfectly, except I had to format it. Like, I kept trying to log in
Oh.
because my profile was on that hard drive and it kept failing, but as soon as I formatted it, it worked fine.
That sucks, though.
Yeah, I mean, it only had like 10 games on it, so it wasn't that big a deal.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't huge
Yeah.
loss.
The Wi-Fi on the 360 is terrible, though. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the internet on the 360 is terrible.
Yeah, like, that's why I don't even hardwire it, because hardwiring doesn't even really give me a benefit, so... Yeah.
But yeah, it was just something I was thinking about, because it's like, I abandoned the 360 as soon as I got a PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Except for like a couple of games here or there. But since then, I've picked up a pretty extensive collection on disc and some digital. And I was just thinking, like, there's got to be stuff I just don't even really know about. Not even the best of games, like the Fist of the North Star stuff. Like, they're just Muso games at the end of the day. But I still wanted to play them. And this was the cheaper method, because even though both games came out on disc on PS3, it's like super expensive.
Yeah.
For both discs, and I'm like, no, that's not happening.
I've got about probably 350 360 discs. I wonder... Yeah, I'd have to go through them to figure out what I have and what I don't have.
Like, I looked up Amped 3, and Amped 3 is not available on the marketplace.
No, it's not. You have to buy the disc.
So yeah, so I'll have to go and find one.
That game is so good, though. It's so good.
It is good.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's something we got to talk about at some point, because I want to do that too. Like, I want to figure out what I need to get before that bitch closes down in June. And maybe they'll run a sale. I don't know. Maybe.
No, they won't.
I know.
They never do that. They know that people will come and buy games and pay full price.
It's crazy to look at the prices of some games. What I was going through yesterday, like some shit you would not expect to be $39.99 is still $39.99.
Yeah, digitally. Yeah, I know. Fuck.
Well, but then you've got really good deals. Like,
the North Star was not cheap.
Was it? I saw Enslaved.
Cheaper.
Enslaved is only $14.99. That's not a bad price.
Enslaved though is backwards compatible.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that price is okay. Like, but
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's the reason why it has a more reasonable price.
Motherfucker, Blood Drive being $39.99. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
that's not even a good game, and I own it. I know it's bad. I have that on disc.
That is.
I was gonna say I have no idea what Blood Drive is.
It was basically a black and white Twisted Metal. It was, or no, it wasn't black and white. It wasn't black and white. It was regular. There was a black and white Twisted Metal ripoff, but I don't remember the name of it. But it's basically Twisted Metal. It's just not very good.
Gotcha.
There are too many video games I know too much about.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I know what you mean. Useless shit.
Oh yeah, like
no one cares about partially because it's bad.
Yeah,
not like haha bad, just mediocrity.
Yeah, I know a bunch of those. Part of that comes from working in a video game store for like 7 years, and literally seeing every game that came out in that span.
Correct. Yeah. Yep, that's partially why I know as much about music as I know from working in a music store for 6 years.
Yeah, you got to do inventory on that shit. You're like, yeah, I remember Silver Load for the PlayStation 1. Of course I do.
God. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Silver Load? It was a big box PS1 game. It was a Western. It was a light gun game, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I remember those big box PlayStation games.
Which they bought from Sega? Yeah, that's how they got the cases.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
PlayStation was like, we don't have anything to put these discs in. Sega's like, well, we got some extra cases. You want to buy those?
They also ended up doing the black plastic version, I think.
They did two different black versions. The one that was cardboard and the one that was plastic. The plastic ones were nice.
Yeah, the plastic ones were nice.
The original Resident Evil with the like little grooves on the side.
Yeah.
Yep, those were nice. They even brought that groove design into the jewel cases.
I'm looking for screenshots and there's like nothing.
What?
Wait, no. Silver Load?
Oh yeah.
Never mind, I've seen screenshots. Holy shit, that looks terrible.
Yeah, it was not a good video game. But I remember it, and it's $63 used on a website, which you should never pay $65 for Silverload ever. There are other ways to. Oh God, I just see a picture of Crazy Ivan. I remember Crazy Ivan.
Were you about to say there's other ways to get a silver load? Because I don't know if there is, honestly. Because
No,
that's.
I was going to tell you there's other ways to play Silverload.
Oh,
Yes.
Gotcha.
That are less scrupulous.
And you will be like, I'm glad that I played it this way and not for $65.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm obviously talking about watching a long play on YouTube. Don't take that the wrong way.
Correct. Yeah,
I
of
know
course.
what you mean. Yeah. Because those are everywhere.
Wow, this game is super expensive. Just the disc, $32.
Jesus.
I can't believe it.
No. What's the full price?
I saw one for $133 in the box.
Hey.
Yikes.
Man.
Yeah, $133 is the highest price I see. You can get it in a box for $63. It looks
Only
like.
pay that for I don't recommend paying that for anything, but if you're gonna pay it, pay for a good game.
Right.
Sometimes I look at the price of some of these games that I played on the PS1 and I'm just like, I wouldn't have paid that when it came out. Just saying. Like that's a bad price. Anyway, that's it for the show this week. If you want to email us, please do. We like reading your emails. It's podcast@ztgd.com.
Send Xbox recommendations.
Yes, with the store closing, start sending Xbox 360 games that are on the store that we need to check out because I need to figure out what I need to buy. Ooh, Psychonauts is on the PSN for $2.50.
If I didn't already own like 3 different versions of that game, I would probably buy that.
I got that in multiple places too.
Yeah, I do too. I think I got it on Xbox and maybe PC somewhere. I don't remember.
The best version is the PC version.
Well, clearly.
The Xbox is okay. The PS2 on PS4 on PS5 version is bad.
Oh yeah, I have that one. Yeah. And also, if you want to tweet us, that's ZTGD Radio on Twitter, Twix, whatever you call it. Just don't call it X, because that's wrong.
Yeah, come on.
That's
don't call
wrong. Don't do that.
Don't be that guy.
Don't do that.
But other than that, I don't have anything else.
If we band together, hold on. If we band together, we can bully him into changing the name back.
I doubt it.
You know,
Right.
you know what's funny is the links still say Twitter.
Yes,
I know.
they all say Twitter.
Right. The heck?
You know what's funny is I work in a place where we have those little, like, we create those little footers in the emails for social media. We've been talking about changing it for like 6 months. We just ain't done it.
Yep.
Like, it's still the bird right now. So
Yep.
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Ain't nobody care.
Nah.
None of this matters.
None of this matters. Drew, I think we'll be back next week with more Greedfall. Maybe.
Oh man, I'm jealous of him playing through that game the first time because I loved that game.
I'm gonna go play.
Do it again fresh.
I'm gonna go play video games on an undisclosed console. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, that's it for this week.
Is there a brand new console coming out that we just don't know about? That's secret?
No, I just don't want to give away what I'm playing.
Oh, that's right.
I'll get in trouble for that.
Terrence and I will give away what we're playing.
Yeah, you're playing hell. You've been playing the whole goddamn show.
You've been playing it the whole goddamn show.
Anyway, that's it from us. Otherwise, we'll get out of here. Peace, Patrick.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.